Hello,
Adelia.
teacher.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What about you?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you. So we also have scheduled this call with Roger. Hello, Roger.
Hello, teacher.
How are you?
I am fine, teacher, and you?
Doing pretty well, thank you. We also have Aurelia. So let's just give her 1 minute to see if she comes up. In the meantime, I'm gonna open up the presentation. So give it just 1 minute.
Okay, teacher, don't worry.
Okay, Roger. Okay, can any of you please tell me if you see my screen?
Yes, teacher. I can see.
Great. So today's topic is how to describe a place. You might be wondering, why is this an advanced topic of English? And it's actually because it's used for English exams. So let's start just by describing what is a place. So when we are describing places, we can be talking about a city, a neighborhood, a country, a street, or even a building. So it can be something as big as you imagine, or something as small as a building. The key here is that a place is anything that you visited or that you can visit. Okay, so well, we're gonna do a warm up. It's gonna be a reading, and it's gonna be a reading because this lesson is basically a vocabulary lesson. And I have an advice for you guys if you want to improve your English. So, improving your English basically is having more vocabulary, knowing more and more words. So, we have a difficult way, and we also have an easy way. Difficult way is improving your language skills. So, that is studying, basically studying. Studying. And the easy way is reading. So we're gonna try to implement that a little more. Here we're gonna read an article about Brussels, and I need to please pay special attention to the adjectives. So adjectives is like beautiful, big, small, but they're not gonna be so easy in this reading. You're gonna be a little more complicated, and we're gonna see in just a bit why. So I'm gonna copy this and paste it on your Skype. Our Skype. Okay. See. Okay, that is the article. Please open it. Read it. You're gonna have 10 minutes to read it. Pay special attention for the adjectives. Maybe write it down. Those words that you don't know, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that. So, starting from now, 10 minutes.
Okay, teacher.
Great.
Um, After reading, I choose two adjectives.
No, just write down the adjectives that are new for you.
Okay.
Okay, Aurelio, are you here?
Teacher, I opened the link. Uh, I don't know what article I should read.
It says, "Welcome to Brussels, historic yet hip, bureaucratic yet bizarre." That one, you click on read more, and you're gonna find architecture, art, food and drink.
Okay, teacher.
You are able to open it?
Yes, teacher.
So let me explain you what we're doing.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Don't worry about it. So, today's topic is how to describe a place. We're doing this warm-up, which is a reading. It's an article about Brussels, because in this reading you're gonna see how is Brussels described. I just pasted the link on Skype. You're gonna have 10 minutes to read it. Please pay special attention to the adjectives. Write down those that you don't know, and we're gonna talk about that after you finished. Is that clear?
Okay. Yes, okay. Thank you.
All right.
No está en cámara. Pero que usted puede.
All right, we have 10 minutes left.
Okay.
All right, you just finished? Get
No, sir. I read the paragraph food and drink.
okay. Okay, we're gonna have just 30 seconds more.
Okay, thank you.
And we're done. So, for this, Lauren, I'm gonna ask you please to close your microphone because we're gonna participate. So, if someone's talking,
Okay.
please close it. And when I ask for your participation, you're gonna open it. Okay. So, we just read that, and now I need the help of Roger. Roger, please open up your microphone and tell me what was that reading about.
Okay, teacher. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, teacher. All reading or one part?
The general idea, what was that about?
Okay, the general idea about the article is are different activities, different drinks, different some place in Brussels. So if you travel, if you will travel, you can encounter or this document provide different information for travel. Okay, teacher, that is that.
Yeah, very good. It is general information just in case if you want to go to travel. So it's an introduction for those of us that haven't been to Brussels and they're describing what is Brussels like. Thank you very much for that, Roger.
Okay, teacher.
No, all right. So, Aurelio, what were some of those adjectives that were new for you? If you can please open up.
Oh
your
my God,
microphone.
um, they were so much. There are so many words that I don't understand. But for an example, bureaucratic. Well, this one is understandable, but I didn't know that it was like similar to Spanish or French. So bureaucratic. I don't get what is yet hip. Hip, like it's like Well, no, it's not here. Well, hip, unshowy, quirky. Well, there are so many that I don't. Well, like principally, like all the adjectives, I don't get them. I don't understand them. It's like a very weird, maybe very formal vocabulary. I don't understand it.
Yeah, that is a very good point. You mentioned something about those words that we're not very familiar with, and one of the reasons is because when we're describing places, we're using British adjectives. So in Colombia, and when we study in Colombian universities, we practically study only American English. So when we encounter words like quirky, hip, rundown, those are usually British adjectives that are not commonly used in America. So that is one of the reasons. As for the bureaucratic, you were right. There are some words that have a French root, and yes, they sound kind of more elegant because of that. And you make me think of this example. Well, as you know, English is a German and French language. So we have words like chicken. That comes from German. We have words like poultry. That comes from French. So it gives us that idea of more refined, more elegant, because of the French component. That is why. So thank you very much for that, Aurelia. Now, Lauren, please open up your microphone and tell me what were some of the words that were new for you.
About me, a lot words. For example, hating me. In the first paragraph, the word Kirky,
Mm-hmm.
and let me see, shimmering glass, shimmering
Okay.
in the tree, shimmering, and Maelstrom. This wall Maelstrom. Another. Surely one. Surely.
All right. Okay,
It was word.
that was good. Now you can close your microphone.
Okay, teacher.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much for that, Lauren. So most of you encounter hip or bureaucratic. Well, that one's in Spanish too. Quirky means strange. In the case of hip, that means that is fashionable, that is up to date. And we also have, when we don't know these words, well, we have historic, and then we have the word yet. So we probably encounter a contrast word. So in the case of historic, that could mean old. Then we have hip, and because of the contrast, we can derive the meaning that this is the contrary to historic, so something new. That's how we get new meanings from new words. And I was just starting this lesson by saying how important it is to read if we want to improve English, especially if we want to speak better English. Speaking English doesn't come up as a result of just speaking English. If we speak English, that's gonna give us just more confidence. But the underlying idea and the vocabulary we're gonna get is gonna come from reading. So we gotta read a lot. That was our warm-up. Okay. Someone just wrote me something. What does yet hip? Hip means fashionable or something new, something fun that is actualized in the present as compared to the history or the past. All right, so let's continue.
Well, and it's very important to read also, as you explained, as British articles, because most of the exams are in British, no, not in American.
Yeah, and well, in the case of this university is TOEFL, Cambridge, TOEFL and no, I'm sorry, it's IELTS and Cambridge. So those are from England. Yes, that's true. It's important to stay up to date with British literature. But in the case of this article, Lonely Planet, this is an American website, and they had a lot of British adjectives, because when it comes to describing a place, you get more specificity. Let me write it here. Specificity. You have more specificity when talking about descriptions, because when we are describing, we're practically giving context. So we need very specific words. That's why we use British adjectives. All right. So, yes, this is very important because we're gonna get asked in the case of exams. Some of the exams that ask us to describe places are the IELTS and the TOEFL. This is in the case of the essays. So we're gonna be asked to write a description of the city where we live or the university where we study, something like that. It's gonna be a description. So that's why it's important. Now, when we're describing, we also follow up the structure of a story. That is beginning, continuation, and ending. It goes like this. So in the case of the introduction, we have some very useful adjectives. That is the case of picturesque. Picturesque means generally attractive. So let's say you have 10 friends and all of them think that Cartagena is beautiful. That is picturesque. Quaint, on the other hand, means unusually attractive. That means, let's say you have 10 friends, 9 of them think Cartagena is very ugly, but you think it's pretty. So it has like a magical touch to it. That is quaint. You find something pretty where nobody else sees it. Quaint. Okay, we also have remote and secluded. Those are more common in American English. Remote means when it's far from other places. Secluded means that is...
Sorry, teacher. Are you sharing something at your stream,
Yes.
or you are just?
You cannot see it. Are you from your cell phone?
Yeah.
Huh. So you're gonna have some delay, but hopefully it will come out there. Oh, yeah, because I cannot do anything from here.
Okay.
What about Lauren and Roger? Can you see my screen?
Yes, teacher, I can see your screen.
Yes, teacher, I can.
Okay. Thank you. So, Aurelia, I can also explain this just by talking. So I'm right now.
Yes, I will listen to.
Okay. So I was just talking about the introductory words or adjectives that will help us give a description of a place. We have picturesque, that is generally attractive. Quaint, unusually attractive. Remember, there has a magical touch that nobody else sees it but you. We also have remote. Remote means when a place is far from other places. We also have secluded. Secluded means that it's actively apart from other cities. Let's say in Colombia we have Choco. That is a secluded place because of the government policies has made it very difficult to stay in touch with the capital cities in Colombia. We also have unspoiled. We have here two variations. Unspoiled with T at the end, that is the British spelling, and unspoiled, that is the American spelling. That means that this land hasn't been touched by humans. We can also think of Virgin, like Virgin Islands. No human has been in those islands, so that means unspoiled or unspoiled. We can also say sleepy. That means there is not much activity. We can say Cartagena is a sleepy city. That means there's not much activity going on there. Alright, that was the introduction. Now, remember guys, when we're describing, we're basically given an opinion. So there is no right answer or wrong. You can talk whatever you want. You can say Bogota is the most beautiful city in the world because that's your personal opinion. But what's important is to keep your idea cohesive. That is, if you're talking about Bogota as a big city, well, you need to continue on that idea with similar adjectives. You're not gonna say Bogota is big and then Bogota is small. That's cohesion. Okay, we also have some very useful negative adjectives. We have seedy, that means dangerous. Dangerous as in is generally dangerous. Like maybe there's some mafia, you've seen some drug deals going on. We say seedy in that case. Shabby, we say shabby when a place is very old and has not suffered any renovations. So yeah, shabby when there hasn't been any renovations or reconstructions. We also have dodgy. That means potentially dangerous. And look, see how seedy and dodgy compare? Well, in this case, dodgy is potentially dangerous because nobody's certain that it's dangerous. Whereas in seedy, everyone knows it's dangerous. Alright, so we also have boring. That's an easy one. And dull. Dull means just the same as boring. There's not much activity going on. There's not as much action as we would like. That is boring or dull. When we are describing places, we can also talk not just about how the city looks, but about the activities. So we have adjectives like bustling. Bustling means there is a lot of activity going on, like maybe you see a lot of cars, lots of people going to work. That is bustling. We can say crowded when there's lots of people, lots of crowds. We can say lively. This is a positive adjective because, well, yeah, we have a bustling and a crowded city, but it's lively in a positive way because it's making that city feel alive and there's something positive going on. We also have polluted. That is in the case of pollution, when the city is, or a village or a street is contaminated. Also, noisy. Noisy is an easy one. Well, that's when there's a lot of noises going on, maybe produced by cars or factories, anything like that. We can also talk about the cultural aspects, that is describing the behavior of the people. We can say, for example, a place is touristy when they have many tourists. We can say cosmopolitan. That is when we have people from different backgrounds, but they all behaving in the same way. They maybe come from different countries, but it's cosmopolitan because everyone behaves in the same way. This is opposed to multicultural. Yes, we have many people from different backgrounds, but people is behaving in different ways, like maybe religions. This is the case of some countries in the Middle East. For example, we have religions like Christianism and Judaism. They are living in the same country, but they are doing their own rituals. They're behaving very differently, but in one single space. So that's how cosmopolitan and multicultural compare. Now, so far, you guys have any questions about this, or is everything clear?
Teacher, I had a question. Could you explain me again what does mean cosmopolitan?
Yeah, of course. So imagine we have one country. Let's say Colombia. And Colombia is not only inhabited by Colombians. Maybe we have people from United States, We have people from Spain, from China, and Japan. So we have people from different backgrounds. But here in Cosmopolitan, they are all behaving the same way. So I don't know if everyone takes the train. Well, the Chinese, the people from the United States, the people from Europe, they are all taking the train instead of riding their own car or riding a bicycle. It's behaving in one single way, coming from different backgrounds. Is that clear?
A little bit is cosmopolitan means when people of different countries
Yes. Behave the same way.
behave the same way of
Uh-huh.
the behavior.
Yes, behavior, because we're talking about culture. Okay. So, don't worry if that's not clear yet. Now we're gonna do a short exercise. You guys need to write something that describes the city where you live. After that, you're gonna read it to me, and we're gonna discuss some of the adjectives you use. To help you, I just gather all of the adjectives we've discussed so far. So we have picturesque, quaint, remote, unspoiled, sleepy, bustling, crowded, lively, polluted, noisy, touristy, cosmopolitan, and multicultural. The idea is that you use some of these adjectives in whatever you write. So from now on, take 10 minutes, write something about the city where you live, and well, when the 10 minutes are over, you're gonna read it to me. Okay? Is that clear?
Could you repeat again, teacher?
Yeah. So you guys need to write to describe your city where you live, and after that you're gonna read that. That is the exercise.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Take into account the vocabulary, the useful vocabulary. Okay.
Yeah, and you need to use the vocabulary we just discussed. Aurelia, can you see my screen now?
Yes, I could see it. You can see it.
Great. So just use that vocabulary, and we'll see you in 8 minutes. All right, you have 2 more minutes left. Okay, guys, so time is over. Now, this is the time where I ask you to please read me what you just wrote. So for this, Roger, are you ready?
Teacher, can other person or other partner say the activity, please?
Let's
I am in this moment in another place. Give me 3 minutes, please.
Okay, don't worry about that. So, Aurelia or Lauren, are you guys ready? Is any one of you ready?
Teacher.
Oh, okay. You just wrote here on Skype. Lauren is typing.
Okay, shall I read to you?
Yes, please.
Okay, so La Cumbre, well, okay. La Cumbre is such a secluded little town, and that is why I live for it. La Cumbre is near to Cali, which is a city. Hopefully, my town is calm, kind of quaint for some people. My God, it's too short, but kind of quaint for some people. And yeah.
Oh, that was perfect. Yes, you were able to come to to fulfill the meaning of each of these adjectives. It's very good. Also, you used something that I didn't mention, and it was the use of the third person. So, third person.
Polish. Polish means
Yes?
Polish means is not contaminate.
Polluted? Yes. Contaminated by pollution. So, as I was saying, you use the third person. That is, Cali is or La Cumbre is, instead of I think La Cumbre is or I live there, because that will be the first person. So when we're doing descriptions, both of them are right, but it's expected of you to use the third person, and it's something you fulfill, so that was good of you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Aurelia. Now, Lauren, are you ready?
Okay, teacher. I can read
Yes, please.
Gigante is a little town which has different tourist places to visit,
Mm-hmm.
such as parks and coffee farms. Um, is a, I think, is a touristy place or touristy
Mm-hmm.
town, and at the same time is at the same time it is picturesque town and is not polluted. Is
Polluted. Okay.
polluted. It's not polluted. And with other, let me, could you remember uh, Crowwood?
Crowded.
Crowwood.
That is full of people. Crowded. Okay, you did very well too. Congratulations for that. You just use I think. So yeah, that is correct, but try not to use it next time because
Okay.
well, the idea of a description is to say it in the form of facts. So
Okay.
you have to have some credibility. That is very important. All right, guys. Now I'm not gonna do this exercise with Roger as he is not able to do it. That's fine. So
Okay, teacher.
you want to do it?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So just read me your text.
Okay. I didn't do the text because I am working in this moment,
Mm-hmm.
so I improvise.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to share about Bogota.
Mm-hmm.
Bogota is a beautiful place. So Bogota, the neighborhood I live is very big. So the neighborhood in some parts is Mat. Do you know Mat? Yeah, Mat is I like to crazy. So Bogota is touristic.
Mm-hmm.
Bogota in some place is pollution. There are pollution. There are a lot of pollution because Bogota dry Transmilenio.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of beautiful place
Mm-hmm.
in Bogota. Celebrate everything and no more teacher.
That's perfect. Okay. So yeah, you talked about it in the third person. That was very good of you. You mentioned some adjectives like big, beautiful, and that is completely fine. But here the idea is to try to use more complex adjectives. For example, in the case of beautiful, you could have said picturesque because that is generally accepted as something beautiful. Or, well, you said Bogota had pollution. You could have said is polluted with the adjective, and that is much preferred. But your attempt was very good. Thank you for that, Roger. Okay,
Okay, teacher, thank you.
so this is the closure. So some adjectives work best in certain occasions. You know, guys, when we're talking about description, some of these adjectives work on big uh, context, and some others work in small contexts. So let's talk, for example, Bogota is a dodgy city. Can I say that? No, we cannot say that because we usually use dodgy when we're talking about small spaces. So we can say this street is dodgy, or certain street in Bogota is dodgy. But can I say Bogota is dodgy? Not really. Even though it's correct grammatically, I cannot say it, and that is because English usage. Okay, now we have Piccadilly Street is cosmopolitan. Can I say this? Alright, so when we're talking about cosmopolitan, we were talking about people from different places behaving in the same way. So this is such a small context that it doesn't apply because we're talking about a street. So no, I cannot say that. My village is multicultural. Can I say that? Well, yeah, because we can have lots of people behaving in different ways in one single village. Abbey Road Street is polluted. So those of you who know Abbey Road, this is a very famous street in England, but it's quite small. So can I say it's polluted? Well, technically yes, if we didn't know the street, but if we know that it's a very small street, we cannot say that it's polluted. So keep in mind this, the usage for these adjectives. Alright, well, that will be all for today. I appreciate all for being here, and I hope you have a nice day. I'll see you next time. Okay, goodbye guys, take care, bye bye.
Okay, teacher, thank you very much, and